It's easy to get set up for hosting with Flywheel, and this is going to work great if you followed along using the Local by Flywheel app. It's going to make your integrations seamless, and it's going to really save you a lot of headache down the road. So this is a great option, and it's free to sign up and check it out. So what we're going to do is go to getflywheel.com, and on the homepage we have this big sign up for free button, so we'll click there and go ahead and create your new account. And then once you get signed up, you'll have your own account here. And we've got this big green Create New Site button, so I'm going to click on that. And then you can set up your WordPress site details. And we can give it a temporary domain name. So this way you wouldn't have to purchase a domain name yet to get started using their service. So in this case, I'm just going to make it derekmitchell.flywheelsites.com. And now what we need to do is create a new WordPress user. So this would be a username. You can make it whatever you want. I need to cut in real quick on this video and talk to you real quick about demo sites. So I'm about to go through and show you how to purchase the hosting and all of that, which is great because it's something that you're going to need to do anyway if you want to keep your site online. But if you just want to check this service out and do that free trial that it talked about on the homepage, you can create what's called a demo site. So here's the link to check out this documentation. It's getflywheel.com/WordPress-support/what is a demo site. All right, so basically what you can do is create a new site. You can upload the site for your client. So that site we just made in local, you could actually push it up to a demo site and they can see it, and it'll be in the actual production environment. And then if the client is ready to go, you can actually transfer the billing to them, so they're responsible for all of the payments. Now, if you're your own client and this site is for you, well, you're on the hook for the payments there. But anyway, it's that simple, and then all you have to do is make the site live. So to demonstrate that, here is the video from Flywheel.
If you're like many designers, you've used a demo server at some point to show off a great new website design for a client. With Flywheel, that's a thing of the past. Demo sites on Flywheel allow you to stage the site to show to the client before paying. The cool thing is the site is already in its production location, so going live is as easy as switching DNS with no migration needed. What's even cooler is when you're ready to go live, you can choose to pay for the site yourself or transfer billing to a client. Still confused? Here's how demo sites work.
When you create a site in Flywheel, you have the choice to pay now or pay later. If you choose to pay later, your site will still be available for you to see as a demo site, but it won't be live. All demo sites have expiration dates. Before your site expires, we'll send you a few notices. Until then, you can do whatever you need to make sure your site looks perfect before you unveil it. When you're ready for your site to go live, you'll need to complete billing, choosing to pay for the site yourself or transfer to a client. Once you've done that, your site is no longer a demo. All you need to do is turn off password protection and it'll be on the internet for the world to see.
Pretty awesome, right? Demo sites are just another way we're reimagining hosting for designers and agencies.
All right, pretty straightforward. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to myself to continue showing you how to actually pay for the hosting and get that set up if that's the route you want to go. And then we're going to put that password in again. And then you can either pay now, have a client pay later, or add it to a bulk plan. All right, let's scroll down and choose a plan. So here you can see we've got some different plan options. And to be totally honest, for what you're going to get with Flywheel, $15 a month is a really good deal. Now, you could find cheaper hosting solutions from places like Bluehost or DreamHost or GoDaddy or SiteGround. They're all going to have some different options available. But the one thing that's cool about Flywheel is that it was designed specifically for WordPress and specifically with this local app that we've been using. So it's going to give you a lot of great flexibility as well as seamless integration that's going to make your life really easy, especially if you're not a developer and you don't want to have to try and worry about all the technicalities of it. Plus, they're going to support you with free migration. So if you ever try to bring one site from one spot to another and you have issues with it, they'll do it for free. So that's a really great bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this $15 a month plan. And then I can choose to pay yearly or I can choose monthly. Right now I'll just leave it as monthly. And then we have some different site add-ons. So a CDN is a content delivery network. So what that does is whenever your site loads, it's pulling those files from that server. Remember, we talked about that. But let's say your customer is trying to load your website and all your files are on a server somewhere in, let's say, California. And let's say they live all the way in New York. Well, those files are going to have to bounce through all the different network. And granted, this happens over split seconds, but every second matters when your site is loading. So a CDN basically will clone your site to servers all over the world. So that way when somebody tries to request your website, it's going to load from whichever server is the closest to them, so it loads really fast. It's really handy. It's a great service. Although when you're first getting started, you don't need this because your site probably isn't that big and probably doesn't have that much traffic coming to it. So honestly, a second or two probably isn't going to matter right now. So that's something that you could know exists and you can add to it later. If you discover your site feels like it's slow, or you're watching your traffic and you discover that you have a lot of people bouncing off your site. So that's what a CDN is. And again, I don't even use one currently, and it's something that I might upgrade to in the future, but for now, we don't need it. An SSL certificate. So Secure Sockets Layer, or SSL, keeps your site's information secure by encrypting communication. So what that means is, as your site or as a user is requesting those files back and forth from the server, it encrypts it and protects it so people can't steal information. I'm going to go ahead and click on this and select the simple SSL since it's free. It's fully managed by Flywheel, and that way I don't have to worry about the security on my site. Once that's done, I'm going to scroll down and select my payment method. Click Add Payment Method. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to go ahead and use my PayPal account. We'll click here. So once you add your payment method, in this case I added PayPal, I'm going to click up here to make sure that's selected. And then with that payment selected, I'll scroll down and click Pay Now. And when it's all done, it's going to redirect us to our sites directory here within Flywheel. I can click on the dashboard button on the very top, and if you have more than one site, you'll see them all listed out here, but for right now we only have this one site. So when I click on that, we can see the overview and the stats of the site. Since this is brand new, obviously there's not going to be much here to look at. We can see stats for when we do have traffic. We can see different add-ons. So that was that SSL that I'll need to follow up with, the CDN, and multi-site, which are all beyond the scope of this lecture right now. We have our backups. So since our site is brand new, obviously there's no backups yet either, but this is going to be really helpful to have automatic backups of your website. So if anything ever happens, like a plugin breaks or it gets hacked, or anything happens that you weren't expecting, you can always revert back to a backup. We have some different advanced options as well that you probably won't need right now, but it's good to know they're here. You can flush cache, which sometimes if you make changes to your website and they don't show up right away, it might be because your hosting platform is caching it or saving the old version, so you can flush the cache to see the current version of your website. You can do development mode, which will help disable the caching, so that way you can see those changes instantly while you're developing. So if you're adding CSS or different image files or different things like that, you could turn development mode on, so as you're making those changes to your website, you'll see them immediately. And then what's really cool is over here we have this gear icon. You can change your site name, but you can create a blueprint, kind of like what we learned about at the beginning of this, where maybe you spool up sites online. Instead of going through the local development, you just do it right away through the hosting environment. So you can do that here as well, and you can clone your site as well. So let's say you're creating multiple sites for different clients. This is a really great time saver. And then we can click on WP Admin, which will take us right into the back end of our brand new website. In an effort to try and keep this course and this lecture as current as possible, I'm going to attach the documentation files to this lecture so that way you can see what the most current transfer and migration processes are from Flywheel. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me directly, comment on this video, or again, join that Facebook group, and we'd love to help you out.